we'll see. I guess we'll see if it changes.
It says live now.
It says live.
Mine still says off air. Maybe I have to click. Yeah, mine still says off. Okay, now I'm live. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know what we're going to do about Corey.
Well, we're live.
Yeah, I just got the notification on YouTube saying that you're live. So
a lot of buffering going on.
okay, so should we wait a little longer and see if he can get on, or should we just go ahead and start?
Well, let's wait a little bit longer because I'm still kind of.
Corey.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. And it keeps buffering, so.
God, my fucking dog is throwing a fit.
We're live. Yep.
It's weird that it won't let him join. Like,
yeah, I just got the notification on YouTube saying that you're live. So.
Okay, looks like Troy left.
Just you and me now, man, until we can figure this out.
Is there like a delay? Or are you getting or are you getting what I'm saying right away?
I think I'm getting what you're saying right away.
Yeah, okay. Troy said it just kicked him off. He just posted a he just sent a message saying it just kicked him off.
Weird.
So, yeah. What the fuck?
Well, at least we figured out the audio problem.
Yeah.
Got to count for something.
Hang on. Sorry to everybody that's watching this. As you can clearly tell, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
It should be a lot easier. And
it really should be.
If you're joining us now, we actually just got my audio figured out like right before broadcasting, so
yeah.
Hopefully Pizzagram can join us. His phone keeps kicking him off and saying that he has to download Google Hangouts, but he's already downloaded
yeah. Either that or I don't know.
I'm gonna check out the chat.
God, I'm about ready to go punch my dog. I swear to God. Shut the fuck up. Corey goes, Google's a piece of shit.
Well, it seems like we're slightly delayed on the stream that the viewers are seeing, but
well, I mean, yeah, that's to be expected. I'm pretty sure that's normal. So
oh man, we got quite a lot of people in the chat already. Someone's like,
I was gonna say we're not gonna get a lot of people watching if we don't start talking about something.
Yeah.
Either that or they're just gonna enjoy the fact that we're fucking retarded and can't figure this shit out.
Hey, you gotta start somehow.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm popping my cherry with live streams, guys.
Well, same, but for hosting them. I've never actually hosted one before, so
I've never been on one in general, so this shit was all new to me.
Yeah, we already sent. Someone asked you, did you send them the link? Yeah, we sent everyone the link.
Yeah.
We made a group chat on Facebook just to get everything coordinated and everyone ready to do it. And then I created the Google Hangouts thing here and sent them the link. So it technically should work, but you know, technology is only useful when it works.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone says, any black metal recommendations for starters to the genre?
You want to go first?
I guess it depends really if you want to jump in and listen to straight up black metal right away, or if you're like coming to black metal from death metal, because if you need something to ease you into it, I'd say just blackened death metal. So stuff like, I don't know, Belphegor, Behemoth, maybe Black Witchery. I don't know. The first black metal bands I heard back in the day were Dimmu Borgir and Cradle of Filth, but they're they're a little bit of a controversial like couple of bands, because you know the people that have been listening to black metal for years will be like, oh, Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir aren't black metal, they're this or that, right? So it's kind of like, what do you say? But for someone who's new to black metal, I would say those two are good to, you know, ease on into it. Same with like I said, Belphegor, Behemoth is good. The Satanist is a really good album, but it's not like super lo-fi. You don't get those like crazy demonic black metal screeches or howls or anything like that. So
because you said you don't like Dimmu Borgir or Cradle of Filth now, but do you at least like the first couple of Dimmu Borgir albums, like For All Tid and Stormblast?
Yeah. I had Stormblast, but then I traded Hails and Horrors, aka Corey Cameraman, for one of his Stryborg CDs with it. So I don't have the Dimmu second album anymore, but I do want to go back and get For All Tid and Stormblast again eventually, because those are really good.
Yeah. For All Tid's fucking great.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like both of those bands are like extremely talented. It's just not my, you know, cup of tea.
Yeah, no, don't even get me started on Cradle of Filth. First, I mean, I'm not. Their early stuff is. I mean, I know everybody fucking says this, but yeah, their early stuff is all right. It's the only thing I can tolerate by them. But
fair enough.
If you like them, more power to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you like them, definitely check out Revenge Prevails. They're a Swedish blackened death metal band. I did a review for their two releases that they did, the demo EP thing and their full-length album. So definitely check them out, or give early Karak Angrana a shot, because you know Lamendum was fantastic, and Death Came Through a Phantom Ship I think was good. Or am I thinking of Where Corpses Sink Forever?
I'm not super familiar with Karak and Grin. I tried listening to one of their albums and I could not get into it, so I turned it off. Maybe at some point I'll go back and revisit it, you know, because like I did that with a lot of bands and albums. I just was not feeling it, you know, when I started listening to it. So I was like, I don't like this, so I just shut it off. And then a couple of bands, you know, I did go back and revisit, like Leviathan. I could not stand Leviathan the first time I heard them. Same thing with Drowning the Light. I did not like it, but then I kept going back and revisiting it, and I like it. So, you know, your taste changes over the years.
Yeah, they definitely do. When I first got into Drowning the Light, it was, I think, like you said, it was a little too lo-fi, a little too raw. And then I don't know. One day I was just, like you said, just listening to it, and I'm like, I get this now. And then I picked up, God damn it, Till the End of Time. I need to get more. I've got
definitely
that
definitely got to get the Serpent's Reign. That album is fucking great.
Fair enough. Well, I definitely want to pick up. I definitely want to pick up one of their, or one of, but like all their legit like full length albums, and then maybe work on some other stuff from there. I know I picked up something that isn't a full length album recently, and I'll just have to wait until an update for everyone to see it. But yeah,
I'm like they're. I mean, aside from a couple albums like Drowned and Of Celtic Blood and Satanic Pride, those are both kind of hard to find, but the rest of their albums are really easy to find on CD. So yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble finding the rest of their albums.
Yeah, I seen a lot of them floating around eBay.
Ominous Domain. Go there. That's where I got most of mine.
Oh, true. Most of the ones I've seen is around $19 plus shipping. But
yeah, I think Ominous Domain has them like for like $11 or $12 each, brand new. So, and then a lot of those reissues are limited, you know. So
true.
once they go out of stock on distros, you know, that's that.
Yeah, I always try to get from the distros or from the bands themselves too. Like I don't always try to get stuff from eBay or Amazon or like Discogs. Like if I can get it from the band or from the distro, you know, they're selling them on first, I'll go there. But yeah, we should probably take some questions from the chat though now.
Yeah.
Sabrina asks, how long is the stream going to be? Well, it was originally supposed to be like 2 hours, so it was going to be from 7 till 9, but since Worship the Pizzagram couldn't make it, I'm not exactly sure how long this is going to go.
Yeah, it's just super gay that it's not working. Like, I don't know why, because it kicked Troy out too. So I don't like that's why I was thinking, well, maybe we should just end it and then have you create the whatever invitation again and see if it works like that. I don't know. It didn't kick me out, so I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and it's sad that it took me this long, or as long as it did. Not everyone watching this is going to know how long it took, but it took about an hour to figure out why the fucking audio wasn't working on my end. It's so dumb.
That's why I said yesterday, or whatever, yesterday, the day before, I was like, we need to get this shit figured out, you know? Otherwise, we're going to be scrambling at the last fucking minute. You know, like I said earlier, we're going to be running the Chinese fire drill, you know?
Well, it's crazy because YouTube tells you need an encoder to run these things. I don't have my encoder on right now. It's streaming straight through Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, unless you're, you know, like unless you're really good with this kind of shit, like technology wise, it's such a pain in the dick. to figure this shit out.
The dick area, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asks, is Sabbath black or thrash? Sabbath, if you're thinking of the one from Japan, I believe that's first wave black metal, but basically all first wave black metal is you know, a little sprinkling of death and thrash mixed together. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because fuck, you could even argue that early Sodom is black metal. You know, it could argue that that's first wave black metal. If you really wanted to, you could make the argument. I mean, I don't get offended if somebody would say that, you know.
Yeah, I'd say it was like the first couple of Sodom releases sound
even even early Creator too. So because they were all about the, you know, Satan and shit on the early stuff. and then they got rid of it real fast
Yeah.
when they went and did Pleasure to Kill. So
yeah, very true. I think the guy from Venom said that what really makes black metal is just being heavy and fast and dark and talking about Satan. But that's the guy from Venom. So
I don't know, like I don't know why everybody shits on Venom. Like I love Venom. Like I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I enjoy Venom. I mean, there's a lot of other, like, a lot of the other black metal YouTubers, and I'm not gonna put anybody on the spotlight, you know, but it's I really don't think that the constant bashing of Venom is cool. considering I'm somebody who does feel like if it wasn't for them, we would not have black metal, because if it definitely wasn't for them, we would not have Bathory, because
for sure.
Yeah, because I mean it's blatantly obvious that Corthon, you know, took so much influence from Venom. You know, I mean there was, I don't know, you know the song "Born for Burning" by Venom. You know that riff.
Yeah.
Or not Venom, Bathory. Sorry, I'm retarded. Yeah, that riff was stolen from a Venom song, but you got people in the comments on YouTube, on like there's where's that? What's that one song that used like the same riff, or like the variation of that riff? Fuck, I think it was that Satanic Winter song. Everybody's like, oh, they ripped this rip off Bathory. I'm like, well, Bathory ripped it off from Venom, you know.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing about music these days. Like,
Yeah.
there's only so many variations of a riff or whatever that you can do before it starts sounding like someone else. Even back then, in the early '90s, late '80s. So, someone asks, what distros do we usually order from?
You can go ahead.
Well, specific distros, I can't really think of any at the moment, besides just kind of like Osmos Productions or CDN Records. They're a Canadian kind of distro that's here in Ontario, so it gets to me pretty quick, which is nice. There's Deathbridge Records that Desi Wood has, like, he's got some black metal projects there. He's got one or two kind of like slam or porno grind projects on there. Like, he does Necrofuckphilia, he has Commit Suicide, Scroth, and there's another one on there that I'm forgetting. Filleted Horror is on there too, I believe. It's an amazing name, but but there's tons of distros you can get stuff from.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hell's Headbangers.
Yeah.
Iron Bonehead.
Yeah, like I just mentioned earlier, Ominous Domain.
Yep.
That one that I just showed you the other night, Tour de Garde. The Canada distro.
Yeah. And then the one you showed me, Tour de Garde. That was pretty good.
Let's see here. There's another one that I order from too, that I've ordered from quite a bit. Except it would be more beneficial to you if you lived in like Europe. I order a lot from Northern Silence. They have a lot of really cool shit on their store that's really hard to find. Because I found shit on their store. I was like, God damn, are you kidding me? Like I was like, I can't find that shit, you know, anywhere, and they got it right there on their distro. So
pretty convenient.
Yeah, I actually have a package coming from them on the way, so looking forward to that.
Nice. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Whoever asked what distros do we buy from, I might make a video in the future, just giving a fuck ton of distros that I know of, and like leaving a link in the description just so that people can find new places to buy physical formats of their favorite bands. Because up in here in Canada, our HMV are shutting down, and that's like the last big strain of music stores.
I do not mean to interrupt you. I just thought of another one that I've been ordering from recently. $20 spin, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Josh
yes,
Army
definitely.
talks about them a lot.
Yeah, yes, definitely $20 spin. They got a lot of good shit. Can't really think of any other ones. I'm trying. Nuclear War Now has a lot of cool shit too.
Yeah, I gotta check their site out. I believe Backmasking. I don't know if you ever heard of that YouTuber, but he suggested a lot of stuff from Nuclear War Now and stuff like that back when he was still making videos. Sucks that he stopped. He used to show a lot of really obscure stuff in the black metal scene and whatnot. But the funny thing is, he would say, "Oh, I'm not obscure. You should see the one guy that I work with. He's got tons of stuff that I've never even heard about." But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever checked out his videos, but I have heard of him.
Well, once you kind of like drain your kind of your well of black metal bands to check out and listen to, definitely go over to Backmasking's channel and just kind of go through his collection updates, because it's just a bunch of just unheard of stuff, or at least I've never heard of, and it just sounds like it would take a bit of digging to get half of the stuff he shows.
Okay, fair enough. Fuck, I was gonna say something. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, but yeah, my list of just bands and albums to listen to is just endless. So, I mean, it's fucking annoying. There's so much shit I need to listen to. I just don't have time.
Someone asks, what is your favorite Takei album?
Second album, definitely.
Over Jorgen.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Yep, definitely. The Natastid or whatever the hell it's called, that's a close second.
Natstid per Sorten Vid.
Natstid, yeah, the first album, the debut.
Mine would probably be.
That's a close second.
True. Mine would probably be Hordalands. Even though I don't own a physical copy of that yet, I still need to get around to that. But that, and then I think it's the self-titled album of Takei that has that song with the banjo solo in it.
Actually, you know, they did that shit live when I saw them.
Oh yeah,
they brought out the banjo and everything.
Sweet.
You couldn't hear it that well though, because they didn't have it turned up that high. But yeah, they brought that shit out. That was great.
They didn't have him mic'd, but he was giving her anyway.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Someone says go to Caligari Records for cassette tapes. I've never actually checked that label out, so I'll have to check that out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. It's not ringing a bell, so I guess I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Favorite Bathory record.
Okay. I already know. Yeah, I already know what mine is. So
you go ahead.
You got your. It's probably most people's favorite. Under the Sign of the Black Mark. definitely.
Yeah, that is probably my second favorite of his. Mine would probably be Blood, Fire, Death, because if that's actually the title of it, but it's got A Fine Day to Die on it, and that was the very first song I ever heard by Bathory. So
yeah, I think I remember you sang that in one of your videos. So
yep, it was funny too because I was such a noob to black metal when I first heard that song that I'm like, to the guy that showed me it, I'm like, hey, that kind of sounds like lo-fi Metallica. I got a punch for that.
yeah, like you can tell, like, yeah, you can tell that album, there was a lot of like influence from the thrash bands. Like there are a lot of, Rain and Blood and Master of Puppets influence on that record. Definitely.
Yeah, it's
like there was one, I can't remember which song it was, but there was a one riff on there that was like almost identical to one of the songs from those thrash records. I can't remember which one it was. Drawing a blank, but I was listening to the album one day and I heard that and I was like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of riffs that sound similar to something, I found it really funny. Speaking of first wave black metal, Hellhammer has a song called Yuri Nomos, and it has
yeah.
It has a riff that sounds like my old punk band song, The Three Hot Chicks, but it's just kind of like thrashy and sped up a bit. So I'm like, what the fuck? As soon as it came on, I'm like, why is that riff playing? And I had to like double check and look at my Xbox because that's where I rip all my music, right? And I'm like, did it skip to one of my Cure stuff? And what's going on with the sound? But I'm like, nope. But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, are riffs endless, or does it eventually get to a point where the well has just run dry? And you just have to keep, recycling the same riffs, or just play different variations of them. I'm not a guitar player, so I don't know.
Mathematically speaking, there are, for most guitars, 6 strings, and then you have 24 frets for the most part. So times that, 6 times 24, that's how many notes you're gonna get. And then I guess times that by how many combinations of said notes you can string together, and that, I guess, would be the number of how many riffs you could potentially have. It would have to be up in the millions. But you would eventually run out, and the whole plagiarism thing, or we wrote that riff first, would kind of just have to be thrown out the window unless there was a obvious blatant rip off of said riff or thing. Like if someone is a big fan of, like, I don't know, Metallica's Enter Sandman, and their band page says, oh, our influences are Motorhead, this, that, Metallica, and whatever, and then one of that band's songs sounds, very similar to Enter Sandman, you're gonna be like, okay, they clearly ripped it off then. But if it's 2 bands that have nothing to do with each other and there's no correlation between the bands, and one of this band's riff sounds like the other one, then it's probably just coincidence. I mean, great minds think alike, right? So
yeah, okay.
One artist might think sounds great, could be the same thing that another artist thinks up too. So
okay, fair enough. That works. Do we have any more questions, or does it say how many people are watching?
Probably. I'm just inept. It says 16 viewers.
Yeah, 16.
I guess that's the same amount of people as that are in the chat. Maybe not. Someone asked.
Come on, people. Ask some questions, people. Don't be shy.
I mean, it's just
seriously.
Just me and Nick here for now.
Yeah, and unless we can get, unless Corey or Troy can get back in, I don't know.
There is also another person I wouldn't mind doing the chat with here or video.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Metal Throne was talking to me about doing a video stream with me, but he's his appearances online are very rare these days, so I don't know what his schedule's like, or how busy he is with school and stuff, so that might probably be part of it. But if he's watching this or can get on here before 9, I'll definitely accept his whatever and send him the link. So that'd be cool.
Okay.
Someone says, do you like European black metal, American black metal? Which one do you prefer?
God damn. I mean, I have favorite black metal bands from each country, you know, like, so like that's a really hard question to answer. I would say either Finland or Sweden for me has most of my favorite black metal bands. But that's not to say that other countries don't have any good black metal bands. So
yeah, I guess it's just a preference thing, right?
Yeah, it's because each country has their own style. I mean, if you actually listen to a lot of bands, you know, like a lot of the Finnish bands, they do sound kind of the same, you know. Same thing with, you know, Sweden and, you know, obviously, you know, Norway. Even the US, I feel like, has their own kind of style, you know, sound.
Yeah, if you've been listening to black metal for any length of time, and you've made it past like the big 3 or 4 or 5 main well-known bands like Burzum, Mayhem, Dark Throne, Immortal, Emperor, etc., and you've actually gone on like to a little bit more like obscure stuff, you will start noticing that each kind of country has its own sort of style of doing black metal that you'll kind of grow accustomed to one way or the other. Like you might grow more accustomed to the old school traditional Norwegian black metal, or you might like Wyatt says, like Wyatt XM, he says that Canada has the best black metal, but I mean, I live in Canada and I don't find we have the best. I mean, it's kind of
personal preference.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's personal preference, but I mean, I found that I've come across more black metal bands that have striked my fancy in other countries more than I have found in Canada. Like, I've got a stack of about 12 or 13 Canadian black metal releases, but I've got double the amount of US black metal. And then this stack behind me right here, like, holds 150 in that tower, and that's filled with other countries' black metal. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's really is difficult. I mean, like if you had, well, okay, so like out of like the big countries, you know, that are known for black metal, like Sweden, Norway, Finland, I'll even throw the US in there. What's your favorite one from each country?
Oh boy.
Yeah, this one's gonna make you think.
That's gonna kill me.
Germany too. Germany has really good black metal as well.
From Germany, that's gonna be an easy one for me. Endstill.
Yeah.
I love Endstill. Nice. If Nordfried is from Germany, then it would be a tie with them, but I don't know if they're from Germany or not. It sounds like a German black metal name. For the US, it's probably going to be something out of the Black Twilight Circle because they're fucking phenomenal. Like, I've been like really getting a huge metal boner for that circle of different bands, and they've got like at least 13 or 14 different bands within their circle now, just out of side projects as well. Because the guy Valon, he he has like that solo project as Valon, but then he's also got like Erisminda, and he's got like he's a little bit in Axeman, and he's in a little bit in another project too. But yeah, I really want to see more from Axeman, and I want to see a hell of a lot more from Bloodplay, because they only have one track, and that's on the Black Twilight compilation that I cannot pronounce. It's like Tiltik Klapjokik or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not like really that familiar with a whole lot of those bands. I have that one band, I forgot how to pronounce their name, Ashdotes. I have their album on
Nice.
CD. I got that for free though.
Is that the From the Sun or something? It's like a long title.
Yeah, it's Shadow Plays of Grief and Pain.
Oh, that one. Okay, I'm thinking of
it's
EP.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, like, it's not like amazing in my opinion, but it's pretty good. You know, it's worth a listen.
Oh yeah, Ashdotes. I think they're really good. I definitely need to pick that album up for sure. Their logo is pretty sick too. I like certain black metal logos. What else we got for chat here? Sorry guys, I'm trying to pay attention to you guys in the chat too, but
I have
to
keep holding
things on my mind.
I have to keep holding my damn phone because I keep keeping it plugged into the charger, because when we were testing the thing earlier, like literally like it jumped like 10% down within like 5 minutes.
Holy shit.
So I was like, I was like, that is, or something like that, 5-10 minutes, regardless, that's pretty fucking bad. So I'm trying to keep it, I have to like hold it up because I'm trying to find a good position to keep it held up, but nothing is working. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Fuck.
Oh, so you're trying to charge your phone and use it to stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm guessing the cord's like trying to drag it to the side or something. Nice.
Yeah.
Professional stream here.
Yep. Fuck my life, right?
What are some atmospheric black metal bands you like?
I feel like a lot of times people get epic atmospheric mixed up with just regular atmospheric. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a hardcore like elitist, you know, because I never want to come off like that. But yeah, like shit, favorite atmospheric. Oh, this new band that one of the guys that watches my videos on YouTube, he showed me this band called Skogen. They're from Sweden and they play really good atmospheric black metal. So definitely check them out if you haven't. I have something by them coming in the mail.
Nice.
So can't wait to get that. Really good band. Definitely check them out.
For me, none. No, I'm kidding. Like I said, I don't know if Karak and Grand counts as wait, we're talking atmospheric. Never mind. I'm thinking melodic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like.
I mean, I wouldn't even say Karak and Grin is melodic. I mean, when I listened to them, they seemed like symphonic to me.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like
symphonic. Brain on.
Yeah, like you know, like fucking, you know, Demi Borgir and and whatnot. So
okay. All right, here we go. Atmospheric. Just I'm gonna get that word in my brain. So atmospheric black metal. Okay. That's actually even harder to answer, funnily enough. Summoning, I guess. I mean,
I always, you know, I mean, I would always call them epic atmospheric, but just because like with epic, they, you know, that brings that, they have that epic sound. You know what I mean? That's where that term comes from. They have that, like, you know, epic kind of sound. You know.
Okay. True. So atmospheric.
They don't really have that. They don't really have that on their debut. Actually, yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, like that stuff from If the Light Takes Us, which was the English translation for their third album. I just call it by its English name. So yeah, and then like Philosophem. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could consider that stuff.
Because yeah, I kind of consider Birds to be atmospheric and raw black metal. So it's like, I don't know. I'd have to think about that and get back.
Definitely. I would definitely consider, you know, like a lot of their stuff atmospheric. I mean, because like literally like that one track off Philosophin that's like 25 minutes long or something. Like you're listening to that, you're literally just like you're just like you're just like chilled out and just like so relaxed. So yeah.
All right, what else we got? Someone says, do you like grindcore?
Yes and no. I like early Carcass grindcore. I mean, I know pretty much everybody would say that, but I'm not a huge grindcore person. Early Napalm Death is okay. I'm just not a huge grindcore person. It's just not a genre that I'm just like, oh my gosh, grindcore. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about it. It's just not hardcore into it like a lot of people are. So, your thoughts?
Well, I had a weird transition from like death metal to well, I had like this grindcore kind of phase, but the funny thing is it was in between my death metal phase and my slam phase, and that was like 2010, 11 or 12, 2011 and 2012, and I didn't know what the fuck, you know, porno grind, gore grind, and noise grind, all that shit was. I just heard really deep guitars, disgusting, gurgly, fucking throw up vocals, and I'm just like, I was like, yep, I dig this. This is fucked up. I you know, I like that. And then I kind of got out of that, and I moved towards slam, and then that was. By the time I figured out what that was, I'm like, oh yeah. And then I just kind of went fucking nuts, just got a bunch of slam stuff from CDN Records, and wherever, I think throughout 2014 or so, whenever me and my buddy Billy started up Super Slam Bros, and that was kind of like my huge obsession for that year and a half or so. And yeah, and then I eventually got back into gore grind and porno grind and all that, but it was only briefly. It was like every now and then I would listen to it. So it'd be like Biological Monstrosity or Girth, or I can't even think of any band names right now. There's a ton of them, but I just can't.
I've never been into like that porno grind stuff or anything. I had a friend though that went through a similar phase. He was, you know, into all that, you know, porno grind stuff. But yeah, I was never into it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did a Jesse Talks Metal episode on like at least 20 different bands of gore grind and gave my opinion on it. And that was even like kind of a little after my gore grind and porno grind phase, but I tried to go back and do it because I had a few subscribers and some friends that wanted to get into it themselves and wanted some suggestions, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I should dive back into that stuff and kind of research what I listened to and find some new stuff and just kind of make a episode of it, just so people could find new bands to listen to in that genre and just kind of give my thoughts and opinions on it. Not that anyone gives a shit about my thoughts and opinions on it, but hey. And,
yeah. So yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have much to offer.
That's okay, man.
When it comes to grindcore, so I apologize. Actually, no, I don't apologize.
I don't apologize for not
because
knowing
it is what it is. What it is.
True say.
That's like my life. Like that's like my life motto. It is what it is. Okay. any more questions, or should we just?
I got kind of like that topic that I was gonna talk about, but I don't know. Like, I was gonna have this kind of discussion about how punk and metal relate to each other and um, whatnot, but that was with the intentions of having Pizzagram on here because he's also more into punk too. Like, I
Yeah.
guess my question towards you, Nick, would be how much into punk are you or were you, and when you were or if you were, what bands and what did you like about it?
Actually, back in the day, like when I was like 12 years old, this little game came out called Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yes.
So that actually helped me.
Yes.
That actually helped me get into a lot of punk and metal. Like, actually, that game is the reason why I'm a metalhead. No joke.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just from playing that, just discovered a lot of cool bands. Bad Religion, Alkaline Trio. They're one of my favorite bands. They're kind of, I mean, they're kind of like, I don't want to say pop punk because that throws them in with like fucking, what's that one band that throws them in with like Simple Plan, and they're nothing like them. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, the lead singer is with Blink-182 now.
For
Yeah, the
Simple
lead
Plan?
singer of Alkaline Trio. He's with Blink-182.
No shit. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't really kept up with their newer stuff, but I really enjoy their older material.
Oh. Well, he did vocals for Blink-182's California album.
Nice. I totally did not know that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and then of course they have some songs that are kind of like more on that, you know, raw kind of edge, but even like some of, please don't shoot me when I say this, but Sublime, they have some stuff that's kind of like
punk related.
Yeah, I mean, but so I was into them for a little bit back before they became the poster boys for, you know, pot smokers. And you know, every single fucking person at my school, you know, every single fucking dumb jock and you know, poser would wear their shirts just because they, you know, were yeah.
So
don't really need to say anymore.
So were these people that were wearing the shirts pretending to be something they actually were not into, or because that's what a poser is, right? It's someone who pretends to be something.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, like I could tell. I mean, you could tell that these people did not. They did not. Like I said, all those people, they were just those people that they just wore shit because it was the popular thing to wear. And I have to wear this because this is
if I don't wear this, Rachel McAdams is going to kick me out of the group.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. I mean, I don't want to start that whole argument with shirts because I know some shit with that happened recently. So.
Oh, the info.
Yeah,
Amsterdam. That video was awesome. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I
agree with what he said. I mean,
I think we should stay off that topic just so.
It's not that hard though. I mean, you buy the shirt, listen to the damn music. That's all, man.
Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. We cleared the air with that. Let's move on.
Someone's like, favorite punk band. So I guess we were going to try and cover that. I'll go, I guess. My favorite, like, legit punk band would probably be the Germs. And I recently got the What We Do Is Secret, I guess, documentary movie. It's based on bloody hell, Darby Crash's forming of the band. Haha, forming, because that's one of their songs. And what he did after he kind of left the band for a bit, and ultimately his reported suicide. So it's a pretty good journey. I would definitely recommend watching What We Do Is Secret if you can find like a copy at your local used DVD or music store, if those exist anymore, and maybe even check out the other documentary that Darby crashes in, which is the Decline of Western Civilization Part 1. I believe that's on YouTube somewhere, but it's not in like full screen because they would have got a copyright strike, so it's like down in the corner over here, but it's the full length documentary. Definitely check that out. But besides the germs, oh man, it's pretty crazy for bands like Anti-Flag. I really like their first couple of albums. Like I like all the stuff they've done so far that I've listened to, but their first 2 albums for sure are really good. I like Black Flag's first release a lot. Their other stuff's all right. I might even take a few minutes to check out the spoken word thing, but I probably won't waste too much time on that. And Adolescents, they're really good. They kind of remind me a little bit of what the Germs did. But,
what about the Misfits?
I don't know. I had mixed opinions about them, and when I first heard them, because I heard them back when I first heard the first Bathory song that I listened to. So,
oh really?
My opinion on that was a little not the nicest, but I heard a lot of people going, "Hey, if you like punk, you gotta check out at least the first Misfits album." So, I'm gonna have to just.
You haven't listened to any of their albums yet?
I've heard the odd song here and there.
Listen to Static. Listen to Static Age. Here, hang on a sec. Fuck, let me find it here.
Like I'll probably go listen to their first album in full and just see what I think of it.
Yeah, this album right here. This is good shit.
I've never seen that cover before, so.
Yeah. Really good album. It's like one of the few punk albums I own. It was actually one of the first records I bought. So that actually
someone's like, I hate the Sex Pistols.
That's fine. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not. I told Jesse like last week that I wasn't like huge into punk, but I did like some of it. But yeah, I do agree that the Sex Pistols are kind of overrated. But they only get the recognition, because they were the band that just blew up,
Yeah, and they only made one album, so.
Yeah, they were just a band that just fucking blew up, So that's why they get, so much praise.
Yeah. Uncanny Taste mentioned the Cramps. I actually enjoy them quite a bit, but they're an odd kind of punk. They kind of remind me of what Elvis would sound like if he was punk, or like Johnny Cash would sound like if he was punk. They have a very kind of almost spoken word type of style to their singing, not like specifically spoken word, but like it's close to that style. But yeah, I actually really enjoy them. I have their Bad Music for Bad People compilation.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of them, to be honest.
Oh, that's all good.
Like I said, I am like not fluent in punk at all, except for like with the exception of like some bands here and there.
That's it right there.
Okay.
But yeah, if anyone's watching this and they're into punk at all, definitely check out my link to the Black Jacket System Shutdown album. It's so good. I wish I had more by those guys. I think they might have actually released more than just that. album. I thought that was the only one they released, but then I saw this site that might be a small distro that has like maybe 5 or 6 different albums, but I think I might have saw 2 more albums by those guys, so I don't know. I'll have to check that out again. I don't think there's going to be any available by now, because that was probably a couple of years back, but we'll see.
All right. Well, any more questions?
Let's see here. Who do you think started punk, the English or the Americans? Probably the English, to be honest. I think punk probably started in you know, England or Britain or wherever, but it wasn't like what we know punk as today. It was probably borderline, just slightly more energetic 3-chord rock, right?
There was, I don't want to say something and then be completely wrong about it, but I think there was like a specific venue or band from New York. I know. Okay, wasn't the Ramones? Weren't they from New York?
They have a hell of an English accent if they're from New York.
They're from England. Fuck. See what I mean? I don't know shit about punk. Just don't even ask.
Listen to the song 33rd Third. The way they say that, it's like 33rd Third. Like it sounds like someone you can't hear is singing it. So it's definitely English.
I'm gonna check real quick.
That's also a really good song by them, by the way. 33rd and Third.
Haha, yes, they're from New York. I knew it.
Really? The
Yes.
Ramones are from New York?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
But what about those accents?
I'm on Wikipedia. Don't judge me.
But those accents, man, they're so British.
Yeah, they started in '74, which was before a lot of punk started. So,
Voice 420 says, "What do you think about the Dead Kennedys?" To be honest, I haven't heard much besides Holiday in Cambodia, but if the rest of it sounds anything like that, I am definitely going to enjoy them.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't know too much by them either. I knew a lot more punk stuff back in the day when I was younger, but a lot of it has like fuck, what was this other band? Fear is pretty good. You ever checked out Fear?
They're good. They're
fuck, what was the name of that one band?
And More Beers with Fear.
The Dead Boys.
The Dead Boys?
Yeah, you ever heard that song Sonic Reducer?
Nope. Well, I might have heard the song, but I'm
terrible with names. Yeah. Like I'm literally just picking my brain right now to remember some of the old punk shit that I used to hear on Tony Hawk.
True.
Yeah. That was
stuff like the Bloodhound Gang's earlier stuff, or
what are they even considered? Like seriously, the Bloodhound Gang. What are they even considered?
I don't know. They're weird. They're like alternative with like rock bits and pop bits and some punk bits. Like I think I actually meant to say Bowling for Soup, not what I said. But yeah, I can't even think of all the punk stuff that was back in Tony Hawk's. It was such a good game. I wish they had an emulator or whatever for Xbox. Yeah.
It's too bad they ran the fucking series into the ground and fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
The last
Underground was good though.
Yeah, the last really good one was American Wasteland.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asks, are you into any punk black metal? So is that like Blackened Crust? So like
no, I'm not
into
it
in
at
the
all.
Way.
No. I saw them live when they opened for Take. They were okay, but it's just not my thing.
I like Young and in the Way. They're really really neat. Same with Funeral Chic or Funeral Chick. I'm not exactly sure how you'd pronounce that, but it's like funeral and then CHIC. So I don't know if that's chick or chic. I would probably pronounce it Funeral Chic. just because Funeral Chick sounds more like a goth emo band.
Funeral Chick.
Like the new My Chemical Romance album, Funeral Chick.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something they would do.
Someone says, we asked a question earlier, who do you think started heavy metal, the English or the Americans? Well, they came up with the new wave of British heavy metal. I know that's what the English came up with, but did they come up with heavy metal legit? Like, I don't know.
If you want to get real specific, it did, like, it honestly literally just depends on I don't know where I'm going with this. It really just depends on, like, God damn it, I'm trying to figure out how to word this because it's really difficult to word. Like, there was a lot of heavy shit that came out of the 60s in America, you know, but then just
Well, that's the problem with America.
stuff,
I think they're the first
yeah.
for everything.
And then that's true. And then you know, the shit from, you know, the UK, it just really, they kicked it up a notch, you know, like Black Sabbath. And yeah, I really don't need to say any more because everybody already knows that the history, you know. But if I were to say the first heavy metal band is Black Sabbath.
I would agree with that, but something's telling me that they weren't, but they're the one that gets the most credit for being the first. Because I saw this documentary fucking forever ago, and they're talking about Black Sabbath and whatever, but there's another band that started, like, I think about 4 or 5 years before Earth became Black Sabbath, and they had pretty much the same sound, but the distortion of the guitars wasn't quite as heavy, I guess.
Were they a British band or were they from the States?
I don't know. They actually did, like, ritualistic stuff live, and like,
I mean, there was some shit, like, they had, like, fuck, what was his name? I totally forgot his name.
yeah.
There was a black guy, I can't remember his name, that did, like, a lot of the theatrical stuff before Alice Cooper. Like, Alice Cooper likes to try and take credit for for coming up with all the theatrics in rock, but he wasn't the first one to do all that stuff. There was this black guy, and then there was Arthur Brown, who did some of that as well. I don't remember the name of the other guy. I'm drawing a blank.
But yeah, I mean,
Alice Cooper made it popular, though, so that's why he gets the credit. Again, he was the one that blew up, so he's the one that got popular. Yeah. So he's the one that gets the credit, you know. It's, you know.
History is written by the living.
Yep.
Someone says, what do you think about DRI? I listened to them a few times. They're talented, but they're, once again, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, same here. I'm not really into the whole crossover, whatever, thrash. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah, I mean, same with GBH.
Yeah.
They're, you know, they're all right. Like, they're talented. They've obviously got their chops and whatever. But once again, not my cup of tea. Yeah, I pretty much discovered just through a series of elimination that I'm not really into crust. I'm more into just straightforward punk. Like, there's a couple bands that are pretty good, like Dysphoria, I believe.
They ring a bell. Yeah.
Like they're I think crust punk, and I enjoyed them. So, like, that was one band. And then there's something that was similar to that Christian Healy on Facebook. I think he might actually be subbed, but he told me about them, and they're good. I don't know if Nasm or Nasm is counted as crust, but I've heard of them. I think they're more like grind than anything. But that's the thing too. Like, there's a really fine line between, like, crust punk and grindcore. Like sometimes, like my drummer from Heathen Temple, Cameron, he's like, "Oh, check this band out or that band out. This is crust," and I'm like, "That sounds like grindcore to me, or sounds like grind to me." So it's kind of funny. I've got weird ears. I hear shit that some people kind of go.
Well, and I think that's the main reason why everybody, like, nobody can ever agree on like genres, because everybody hears things differently. You know, like at least that's what I think. You know, because I mean, there's people that'll be like, "Oh, well, this is, you know," I'm trying to think of a good example. Oh, God damn it! Like, people try to say that, like, okay, like bands like Dissection and like Sacramentum, like those bands that play the black metal style, but they use melodic riffs, you know, hence melodic black metal. They like to get grouped in as, you know, blackened death metal. Which, when I think of blackened death metal, I think of like Behemoth, you know, and like Belphegor, you know.
Yeah.
So when people are sitting there calling Dissection blackened death metal, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I call them melodic black metal because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
like, but I mean, like, but like, it all goes back to, you know, people hear shit differently, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely hard sometimes. Like, there's like 1,000,001 subgenres within like the death and black metal, you know, genre themselves, and unless you've been listening to it all your fucking life, basically, you're sometimes not going to be able to discern what makes what genre specifically that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Genre.
Definitely.
And if you don't know, people are like, "Oh, you don't know what the difference is? You're a fucking idiot." And it's like,
yeah, pretty much.
Whoa,
pretty much.
I didn't know, man. I'm human.
Much.
I'm human. I don't know everything. I'm sorry. I can't be your, you know, 1,000,000-page thesaurus or you know, encyclopedia. Being a role model these days, geez. Didn't ask for that job.
Or fuck, I mean, I've heard some really ridiculous, you know, shit. You know, when people grouping a band into a genre that's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're hearing that makes them sound like that, but whatever. Like there's some people that call like Cradle of Filth melodic black metal. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't see where that comes from, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they have melodies in their song, but does having melodies in your song make you melodic?
Yeah, I mean, like Goat Moon and like Satanic Warmaster, they use a lot of melodic riffs, but they're not considered melodic black metal, you know.
I don't know. Cradle Filth.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, Cradle Filth and Demi Borgir, they're extreme metal with like sprinklings of black metal riffs. Like they've got tremolos, you know, they've got, you know, kind of that thrashy feel every now and then to some of their riffs. You know, they dress black metal as fuck. Like they got the spikes, they got the corpse paint, etc., times infinity. But it's too overladen with like crispy, warm production, and then they've got this just super saturation with synth. You know, like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna bash on them. Like I said, they're talented in their own way. They're not my cup of tea. I know everyone was like just filleting that Cradle of Filth boner when Hammer of the Witches came out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're back to their roots. They're doing the black metal thing again." And I'm just sitting here kind of like,
if it doesn't sound like Principle of Evil Made Flesh, then
I don't know.
They're not going back to their roots. If it doesn't sound like Principles of Evil Made Flesh, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, but you know, if anyone who's, you know, watching this likes them, you know, kudos for you. Keep listening to them if that's what makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
yeah,
you know, buy their shit, support them, enjoy it. You know, you don't hear any naysay from me on that. You know, they're still talented musicians, and they got to make their money somehow. And if that's your cup of tea, then, you know, go do that.
For sure.
Yeah, and kind of like what I say in my unpopular metal opinions videos, like don't just stop there either. Like just like continue your search for looking for new music. There's a lot of like indie bands and local bands that are in the same genre that you enjoy that could really use your support more. Like they like Metallica isn't gonna hurt if you don't buy their new album. Like but
I mean, buy it if you want to. Buy it if you really want to, but I hate the people that they limit their ears to what gets played on the radio or to what fucking like Metal Hammer and Blabbermouth post about. It's like expand your horizons. Go to the fucking metal archives. You can literally go and search by genre.
Oh yeah.
What bands, like come on. Like we have the internet. Take advantage of it. And then the other thing that's funny too is that like the older metalheads, that grew up, in like the tape trading days, they're always on about, oh well, we didn't have YouTube and metal archives and all this shit, when I was young, we had to discover it, on our own. So they want to sit there and bash all of us because we're discovering all these new bands because of the internet. It's like, well, it's a new age, motherfucker, it's a new age, this isn't 1985, we're in 2017 now.
Yeah, time to keep up with the times, Grandpa. Sorry.
We don't need to use zines anymore.
Fucking zines.
Yeah, not to say that zines aren't a bad thing, but I'm just saying we don't need to use that anymore.
Yeah, I think the last zine I used was Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles. And I only got that because Ken Masters at the Zone in Bowmanville, where I used to live, sold them out of his, mom and pop's record shop. So I'm like, sure, man, one of those and whatever, and discovered a couple new bands. Like that's how I found out about 6 Feet Under and Emperor and Immolation and Death. So zines helped, but I didn't have the internet back then. Yeah. So anyways, back to the questions. We got a few here. One of them, who's asked twice now, so I apologize. He said, do you guys like the Deftones?
Do you really want my honest answer?
Hey, if he asked it.
No, I don't like them. I can't stand them. There you go.
What about the Deftones does not strike your fancy?
I don't like nu metal, and I'm not a fan of the alternative metal stuff. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
If you want my honest opinion, I don't think rap and metal should have ever mixed. I blame Anthrax for that.
You don't like noise?
No, I don't. I fucking hate that. and then they went and tried to do their own rap song. What was it? I Am the Man.
I'm the Man.
Damn it! I was just like, God damn it.
That's funny. As for me, I used to be more into Deftones, White Pony, and prior to that. But the only reason I was really into Deftones is because of Korn, and I just kind of discovered them through doing stuff with Korn's second album, I believe. Like, what were they on? Was it like Wicked? Were they on the Wicked song by Korn? I don't know. But I went through my nu metal phase back in high school for sure. Like,
oh yeah.
I think pretty much everyone did who was in their 20s. Nu metal stage.
I liked like Slipknot and Disturbed. I don't know if they're considered nu metal. And I to be honest, I'm probably the only one out of all my friends that don't listen to like Korn anymore can say that I never liked Korn, because I truly never liked Korn. Never liked Limp Bizkit. I thought that shit was fucking horrible. I still think it's horrible. And let's see, what are some of the other bigger names?
Did anyone really enjoy Limp Bizkit?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, man.
Past Significant Other?
You'd be
Like,
surprised how many fans they have. Like it's crazy.
I mean,
A lot
$3
of
bill,
people actually.
$3 bill,
A lot of
y'all,
people.
like pretty big in high school.
Yeah.
But then they went over to Significant Other, and then they started getting more like rappy, like more so. Yeah, I mean, everyone saw that Roland video. Oh my god, that was it was funny, but it was I don't know. New metal kind of had its thing.
It's dead. I hope it stays dead. Like, oh my god.
Isn't Suicide Silence like incorporate a little bit of new metal into their stuff?
I don't know. I don't like Suicide Silence either. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of deathcore either.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's some decent stuff here and there, you know. But other than that, I just can't get into it.
Someone's doing the line from Papa Roach in the chat. That's funny. I actually got to see them live with the wife because she wanted to go see Five Finger Death Punch, and I mean, they're not something I listen to on purpose or very often, but the wife wanted to go see them, so I went and saw that concert, and Papa Roach was second headline, and then From Ashes to New opened. Like, From Ashes to New is way way better than Five Finger Death Punch or Papa Roach, but I went just to support the wife, and that's what she wanted to see. But I don't know. I don't mind Papa Roach.
Their first album is really fucking good. I still like their first album, Infest. That is a really good album.
I thought you meant.
I think that's their first album. I could be mistaken.
Well, they've got.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
They've got a.
Actually, I could just look it up right now. Actually,
they've got an EP called Potatoes for Christmas that got bootleg released. That they didn't really want to be released, and then they had an album that they put out by themselves on their own independent kind of thing called Old Friends from Young Years, and then they got picked up for Infest, like by an actual record label. But
yeah, it's their second album. I fucked up. My bad.
No one would expect you to know that.
But yeah, that is that is a good album though. I used to listen to that album on a daily basis.
Wasn't that on Tony Hawk's as well?
No. That album predates. Well, no, it might have. Actually, it might have. When did the first Pro Skater come out?
When did what? Sorry.
Do you know the first Pro Skater, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Oh shit! That had to be like around 2002, or like maybe 2000, right on the dot. Because I was still like, I think I was like in grade 9 or 10 when the first Tony Hawk's came out. Someone says, "Do you guys listen to any noise?"
No. I'm sorry if like for me, like I feel like music has to have like there needs to be something memorable for me to get into it. Like if I can't hear like a memorable riff and like like good vocals or just a good song in general, then I can't get into it. Like it's just like, I mean, I don't hate on anybody who listens to the noise stuff. I just can't get into it.
Fair enough. I like some of it. It's not something that I'd put on very often, but it's one of those things where you're doing something else while it's playing, like if you're writing some lyrics or something, or if you're gaming or something and you just kind of want something in the background that's not super duper distracting, then you could put on some noise. But I don't think I would just sit there and listen to like an hour or two of just like an entire song, right? But
yeah, I just can't get into it.
But,
It is what it is.
And once again, there was that Jesse Talks Metal episode where I do list a few what I feel might be some noise bands. Some people kind of argue like, no, that's not noise, that's just gore grind or whatever. But
Again, it all goes back to that point. Everybody has different ears. You know.
True. Someone's like, oh, I thought of something else, but Sabrina's like, I saw that you liked Vulvodynia, but I guess she's talking to King Munchies. But I like Vulvodynia too. They're really good. Their newest release was incredibly brutal and heavy, and I was not expecting it when I, clicked on it. But then I probably should have expected it because that's what they do. And I don't know, I really like the newest release they did. It's fucking heavy as shit. Are you into any slam or anything like that? Brutal death metal? No?
Unfortunately, no. I'm not even much of a death metal person for real. I mean, unless it's like Swedish death metal, I'm not really into it.
Yeah. I'm not really into death metal myself anymore, really, either. Like, old school death metal just does nothing for me. I mean, talk to me 10 years ago, I might have, but now, like, after I've been through like gore grind and slam, and now being really into black metal, death metal is kind of like it's almost like the saying, once you go black, you don't go back.
Yeah, like, for real, man. No joke.
It doesn't have the same extremeness for me. And if I am going to listen to death metal, it's going to be like slamming death metal or brutal death metal. But if I'm going to listen to death metal, it's got to have like just the nastiest, most repulsive vocals ever, and like the riff's got to be like huge and groove laced. Yeah.
I feel like with black metal, there's more variety. Like, I think black metal has the most variety out of any subgenre of metal.
True. Someone's asking, Sabrina again. Sorry, Sabrina. She said, for the third time, God damn it, guys. What do you think of the bands like Black Veil Brides, Bring Me the Horizon, Pierce the Veil, SWS is? I don't know what SWS
Sleeping
is.
with Sirens.
Oh God.
I'm ashamed to
Asking
even know
Alexandria.
that.
And
can I just kill myself right now? like seriously, can I just
live stream suicide of Motley Crue?
Yeah, for real.
Forever one. Should be like forever done.
Hell no. No, I hate all that shit. Hell no.
What's MRC? Do you mean MCR? So like My Chemical Romance?
Maybe.
They
actually, I still think they still have a few pretty, catchy songs. So I won't give them any hate.
Fair enough. But yeah, Pizzagram, that's for you, buddy. Since I'm here, I have you here in spirit.
Yeah, it sucks that he couldn't be here with us.
Hi, man. My heart's a little broken. Not gonna lie. I was actually to bring some mini Panzerottis onto the live stream and eat some for Pizzagram, but
dude,
there's no point now.
Totally should have done that.
Get some pizza pops going up in this bitch. But yeah, I mean, my preference when it comes to, I guess, what would you consider that? Post metalcore? What would you consider that kind of music? I know you consider crap, but I mean, like,
what?
Like, well, I mean, like,
I actually do and still enjoy some metalcore. But I mean, the genre is pretty much dying, though, in my opinion. Just all the bands that were heavily involved with that explosion in like the early and mid 2000s. Yeah. They just softened their sound. Like All That Remains, like their first album is fucking great. Behind Silence and Solitude, that album's fucking great. There's no clean vocals. There's a lot of really good riffs on that
There's that band, All Shall Perish. They released Malice, Hate something. That was pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent. But yeah, again, just not my thing.
Yeah. I had my days when I was more into that stuff. I actually had an emo phase, and I had like, I was always clean shaven, had like black like hair covering like one eye and shit.
Yeah, I didn't. I was one of the few. I'm not trying to say this to sound like, you know, hardcore or anything, but I was one of the few, you know, people in my school that was listening to shit that no one else was listening to. It is what it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like the shit, like the like when people were, you know, when people were in their, like, you know, Slipknot and Disturbed phase, I was already past that. You know, so, you know, that to put things in perspective.
They relate to the game, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. You know. And I always tell people, you're just now like discovering them, like they've been big for a while. You know, it's like I grew out of that kind of stuff. I still enjoy a few songs here and there, you know, but tastes change.
Fair enough. Someone keeps asking, what do y'all think of Deaf Heaven?
I'll be flat out honest. I have not listened to any of their albums, so I couldn't really give you an honest answer of whether I like them or not. So yeah.
Fair enough. I did an unpopular metal opinions video, including them and Cradle of Filth and Demi Borgir, but that was a while ago.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
It's you know, I give my brutal, honest opinion on it. Now it's been a minute, and I don't know. I don't care as much about it anymore than I did back then. You know, Deaf Heaven's not my thing. I find their brand of black metal to be very just. It's
the thing.
Very watered down. It doesn't. There's no bite to it. It doesn't come across to me as like aggressive or cold or necro or anything like that. It just seems like, I don't know, man. I know they're serious about their craft, and I know they're very serious musicians and talented and everything, and they take it seriously. But to me,
it's just not your thing.
It's not my thing, and it sounds like a bunch of college students who, you know, listened to Darkthrone once, decided to make a black metal band. You know, it just, I picture these guys in Hawaiian shirts and khaki shorts and, you know, sandals playing some black metal or what they think is black metal, and they're like, I don't know. Like, I get that they take it seriously. I get that they think they're a very serious black metal band, but, you know,
yeah,
I can't take them seriously. I can't listen to it and be like, yeah, this is dark and brutal, you know, like.
I don't like dark and brutal all the time though. I like softer shit every once in a while. You know, and then like you got bands like you know, like a band that a lot of people enjoy, you know, Agalock. They're a fucking phenomenal band. And they have so many different types of songs. You know, if you're wanting something heavy and just straight black metal, they have songs for that. If you're wanting something like soft, they have that. You know, instrumentals, they have that. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people like that band. You know, is because they have so much variety.
Yeah, I guess you gotta have to be in the mood to listen to certain bands too. You can't just be like, throw it on at any point of time. Like, maybe I just threw on Deaf Heaven and Liturgy. Maybe I just threw them on at the wrong time, and maybe I just like, that's not what I was wanting to listen to, and I just threw it on because someone said the name and told me to check it out. But I don't know. There's so many. Like, if I'm gonna listen to something like that, I'm gonna be listening to just something more straight up black metal and maybe more raw, a little bit more venomous with this just more extreme sounding. I mean, once again, if you listen to Death Heaven or Liturgy or any post black metal, I guess is what the kids are calling it these days.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called post black metal because it's basically, it just means black metal that has been kind of taken to the next level, or something that's happened after black metal. But
yeah, kind of like post rock and post metal and all that.
Yeah, like post rock. And
I was on Facebook the other day, and this guy was like, "What the fuck is post metal?" You know, like does it mean after metal? You know, it's like, is that what it means?
It literally does mean that. It means something that was created, or yeah, something that's created after that genre, but is still linked to said genre. Basically, anything post insert genre here that I've heard is basically a softer version of that genre. Like post metalcore is like poppy punk or punky kind of softer metalcore, and post black metal is just kind of like a softer, less bitey black metal. Like that's from what I've heard of this post prefix or whatever. That's basically what I hear when I hear that word.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What about Christian black metal?
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go take a piss.
Well, while Nick relieves himself, I guess I'll answer that. My thoughts on Christian black metal is, you can write about whatever you like, and then put some guitar and drums over it and call it black metal, and how, talk about Jesus or God or whatever. But I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, because when black metal started, it was basically to oppose Christianity or whatever, and now there's people who are Christian and now wanting to write music that opposed them. I don't know. Logistically, it doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I can't explain it. I can't put into words how. I mean, sometimes it's like people are so concerned about whether they can do something that they don't stop to think of whether they should do something. Like, just because you can, create dinosaurs doesn't mean you should. I mean, we all saw what happened. So. Like, I know WorshipThe Pizzagram.
Okay, I'm back.
I know WorshipThe Pizzagram loves Death Heaven, and I'm going to assume probably Liturgy too, because they pretty much sound like the same band to me. So, I mean, kudos to him for enjoying those bands and getting, and whatever he gets out of listening to them. Like, it's preference, and I'm not going to say anyone who listens to Death Heaven is a this or a that. Like, that's not productive at all. But yeah, I mean, it's once again just not my cup of tea. And if that's what you like, then be my guest. Go listen to it. Go support the band. They got to make money, So.
Yep, pretty much. Okay, so what was that question about Christian black metal?
Oh, someone said, "What do you think about Christian black metal?"
I really don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just saying that it's kind of weird because black metal started as an opposition to Christianity, and it was kind of like a rebellious statement towards what the Christians did to the people of Norway and of the Norwegian culture, and how they just decimated their beliefs and their their worship sites and replaced them with crosses and churches, and basically tried to convert everyone and whatnot. So black metal was like kind of a statement up against that and say, no, we're not going to take that. We're not going to let you destroy our culture and heritage. So for Christians to now take over black metal just kind of seems like you're beating a dead horse. It's like, yeah, we get it. You want to take over somebody else, like, you know, pat yourself on the back for, you know, intruding someone else's territory, I guess. I don't know. But it's, you know, it's, music is music. People can write whatever they want if that's what they want to do. I don't understand from a Christian point of view where they connect the two and see how that's a good thing to do. I mean, anyone who grew up listening to black metal or grew up in the black metal scene, they're just gonna laugh at you for saying that you're a Christian black metal band, and the other black metal artists are probably not going to take you too seriously. And honestly, I would just say be careful, because if you're claiming to be a Christian black metal band, you're probably going to have some extremists coming your way. So I don't know. I don't really condone violence when it comes to religious beliefs or music beliefs. Like, there's no need for violence when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, it's an odd concept. I don't see why Christians would want to do something like that in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, because like, and the other thing too, I was just thinking about this the other day. I forgot what made me think about this, but talking about this subject just made me think of it again. The fact that something about being a poser and listening to black metal. Oh yeah, because I think I had this one guy, or you know, there's people on YouTube that like they like to go to a lot of our, like, you know, us and like, you know, other, you know, people's channels, whether it be Wyatt's channel or what have you, and they like to call us, you know, hipsters and posers because you know, we're showing all this, you know, black metal stuff. And
yep,
I'm just sitting there thinking, first of all, like, black metal is like one of the most like extreme, obscene, you know, subgenres of metal, and nobody is going to fake listening to black metal. Like, in my opinion, if you listen to black metal, you like it. You're not just pretending you like it, you know, because it's just like, it's one of those styles of music that you know, you either like it or you don't. And I just feel like it'd be very hard for somebody to pose that they like it, because it's not like one of those things where it's like, yeah, people are like, oh my god, you listen to black metal? You tell people you listen to black metal and they're like, get the fuck away from me, you know. You know, like I was serious, you know. It's just, I feel like it's just one of those genres, you know, kind of like some of the genres we were talking about earlier, like porno grind and stuff like that. Like, you can't pretend you like that, you know, because to be cool, because, you know, you tell people you like that, you know, you're just like, you know, you're fucking weird, you know.
It's not like a badge on your chest in regular society. Most society would look kind of down upon that and see you as like
exactly
criminal, or, you know, whatever stereotype. I also did an episode on stereotypes and related to being a metalhead, but yeah, I think what they're trying to say is they're coming from an elitist point of view, obviously, but I think what they're trying to get at by saying we're posers or hipsters or whatever is that they're trying to imply that black metal is supposed to stay underground, and by showing it off on a social media platform, we are tainting the cultness of it and exposing more people to this coveted underground music that only them and I guess their circle of friends are allowed to listen to. Like,
yeah,
it's not like a very intelligent or well thought out mindset, but like, that is, I guess, where they're coming from. They're trying to say, don't show black metal on YouTube, don't show the public our coveted music, because, you know.
Yeah, they just give some really good laughs.
It's funny because in this day and age, like, for one, like, look, we're YouTubers. our you know, our hobby is to record us talking about content and things that we enjoy. And guess what? We just happen to enjoy black metal. We happen to enjoy collecting, you know, CDs or tapes or vinyl or whatever physical format we choose. And this is what makes us happy. This is what, you know, gets us through a shitty day. And we just want to be like, here, look at what makes me happy. Look what gets me through a really shitty day. I hope you enjoy the same thing, because then, you know, we'll be like-minded individuals and we can bask in, you know, the shittiness of life together. But at least we'll bond over this cool album, you know. What's wrong with showing off what you enjoy? I mean, if people didn't enjoy it, you know, Count Blagroth wouldn't have almost 30,000 subscribers.
Yep,
I
exactly.
wouldn't have almost 6,000. I wouldn't have almost 2,000, which is fucking insane, by the way. I didn't think 2,000 people would want to watch my stupid ass, but hey.
I feel the same way. Like, personally, I think I'm boring as shit. I'm surprised I almost have 600 subscribers. But, you know.
I was gonna make a joke actually about your channel, and don't take it the wrong way. It's a good thing. I was gonna say, anyone who watches Motley Crue Forever One, take a shot every time he says, "Fucking good album."
Yeah, there was a guy that made a comment on my it was a guy, I gave him some it was another dude's channel that I watch called Backwoods Metal, and I sent him a bunch of like old VHS tapes and stuff, because he collects that kind of stuff, like, you know, band VHSs, like live concerts, what have you.
Yeah.
And so I sent him that bunch of stuff, and somebody had put a comment in the section. They were like, yeah, I made a drinking game out of Nick's videos. Every time he says "fuck," take a shot.
Oh yeah, nice. That's funny. Exactly.
Oh my god, dude! When I saw that comment, I lost my shit. I was like, oh my god, that's great.
Take a shot every time he says "fucking."
Yep, I can't help it.
This fucking album.
I am not the only YouTuber that fucking does that. Okay, I don't know why everybody's singling me out.
It's probably just because they may or may not have seen the other YouTubers that do that. And
I guess, yeah.
You kind of use it on a frequent basis, which isn't a bad thing. It's just one of those human eccentricities that we don't notice we do, and that just happens to be yours. So I'm sure I do really stupid shit all the time.
I don't apologize.
We'll see.
Do you have any more questions?
Questions in the chat at the moment. But I have a good question. What is your favorite format out of the three that I seem to see a lot of? So like CDs, cassettes, or vinyl?
That's really hard for me to answer, mainly just because all three of them have their pros and cons. You know, I mean, personally, I think vinyl sounds the best, you know, and just like having all the artwork and the packaging is just really cool to have. And then with CDs are cheaper, you know, and you can rip them to your computer, you know, or, you know, Xbox or, you know, PlayStation or whatever.
Yep.
Because, you know, not all vinyl releases come with download codes, which I think that needs to be a new thing, you know, with record labels and whatnot. They need to, I think I mean, a lot of record labels do it. Like, I know Relapse is really good about reissues they've been doing lately. They've been including download codes. I know there's other labels that do it too, and then some include CDs, like Century Media. A lot of their reissues and releases include a CD, not a download code.
Does it cost more when they include the CD?
No, it's automatically included.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's just a CD, not a case or anything. No insert, no, you know, back insert, just the CD. You know, in a sleeve.
Yeah, like a plastic envelope or whatever.
Which is fine. you know, because it's cool that they're including that, so you can put that on your computer and not have to download it, you know, illegally.
Yeah.
And then cassettes. I personally think cassettes sound fine. I don't know why. I mean, obviously they do, you know, their sound does deteriorate over time, but they're smaller, they're easier, you know, to what's the word I'm looking for? They're easier to store, you know, like they don't take up as much space compared to CDs or records, you know, which, I mean, CDs aren't much bigger than tapes, but whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they are actually a little smaller for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you on all that. I used to have this kind of gripe about cassettes, and it was the only real gripe about them I had wasn't the sound quality, it wasn't the storage, it was just I don't want to spend, you know, 9 or 10 to fucking sometimes $15, depending on what one you're looking for, on a cassette just to have it be eaten by your player, you know.
Yeah.
And I know Count Blagroth would say, oh, well, just don't have a shitty player, or I've never had that problem ever happen to any of my cassettes. And my rebuttal is just, well, then you're one lucky son of a bitch, because fucking everything I had back in the 90s got eaten at one point or another. It wasn't if it was going to get eaten, it was when the fucker was
when, yeah.
So, like, at least with CDs, it's not going to get eaten by a laser, you know, the reader, right? So,
it's not. Oh my god.
You know, I mean,
yeah.
But I, you know, the only thing I've kind of just given up that gripe, and I'm just trusting my Panasonic Walkman to not eat my tapes, and just kind of get some, because some of them are cheaper than CDs, and sometimes depending on what artist you're purchasing said tape from, that is the only release they have. Like some really underground artists, they don't release CDs. They don't have money to press 500 vinyls. They just go, here's a demo tape with like 6 songs on it. Here you go. Here's, you know, give me $5 and I'll ship it to you. You're like, really? Fuck. Awesome. So yeah, so you then have a really rare release on a, you know, vintage format, and you've supported the artist. So you've accomplished 3 things there, and at least that's what cassette has for it. And you can, if you don't have $180 to buy a decent iPod or a whatever, then you can just pop it in your portable Walkman, throw in some extra batteries, and off you go. You just listen to your tape. So I've pretty much just given up my gripe with tapes and just kind of said, fuck it, I'll take my chance. At least I'm still supporting the artist. If it gets eaten, whatever, I'll just download the music that was on it, because I've already paid the artist, so it doesn't matter if I download it. So so that's my take on tapes. I'm obviously a bigger fan of CDs than anything, since, you know, my 1,000 CD collection behind me. I've had to try and grow since like grade 6. But vinyl is kind of a new thing for me. I've kind of recently got into it a little more because I was able to purchase a turntable. It's not the greatest. It's just one of those briefcase kind of turntables. I got rid of that shitty combo pack that I got from Walmart. That thing is garbage. Like, I don't know if you've seen that old video of mine, but it's like me kind of talking about why is it stopping halfway through my 7-inch? Well, that's because it didn't have a automatic stop turn off button, because it's just a cheap piece of shit from Walmart. But yeah, the new vinyl player I have now actually has a little notch you can turn, and it'll not automatically stop once it gets close to the label. Because the thing with 7 inches is the recording of it is actually closer to the center of the label than a lot of 12 inches. So the player that I had, well, the player that I had wanted to stop before it got to the label, so it didn't fuck up the needle, I guess. so it wouldn't play all the way through my 7-inch. Whereas now, my new turntable actually has the shut-off switch, so it'll just keep fucking playing. And then by the time it gets to the label, to spin on that never-ending stop thread. So that's cool.
The dead wax.
So now I'm actually able to play my 7 inches, which is enjoyable because that's really all I can afford for now. Like up here in Canada, trying to buy vinyl off of eBay or Discogs or anything, the shipping is 99% of the time the same amount as the vinyl, if not more. So if I want to buy a $25 or $30 vinyl, I'm gonna have to pay $25 or $30 in shipping half the time, depending on
where would you be ordering from? Because it doesn't cost that much to ship from the U.S. to Canada.
Well, I don't know.
Whether it be a CD or a record.
I'm not quite sure. Like I said, like I haven't kind of branched out and went to different distros for buying vinyl. I just normally look at either Discogs or eBay. Don't know why. I should be looking at distros, but just when I have been looking for vinyl, that's just kind of my reliable go-to to find it. But yeah, the shipping has just been ridiculous. Like been $20 to $30 for shipping, like one fucking vinyl.
God damn.
Yeah, so that's why you don't see a lot in my collection of vinyl.
I mean, yeah, you get that. I mean, that's a lot of like to ship. Okay, like to ship a CD or just like a small package from here to like say Sweden, it's $13.50 USD, which that's a lot. Like just a few years ago, it used to only be like half that price. So it's fucking crazy how insane shipping costs are now. And a lot of European sellers like to charge like 20 euros to ship a record, which is a lot. I mean, and I'll admit it, I've pulled the trigger many times on that. But you know, it is what it is.
I don't even hear that. That's
yeah.
my oldest boy trying to fight bedtime. He doesn't want the wife to shut off SpongeBob. He's like, "Don't shut off SpongeBob, no!" But yeah, that's normally what kills it for me when it comes to vinyl, just the shipping. Because I mean, I get why I'm paying $20 to $30 for a vinyl itself. Like it has like bigger artwork. The pressing of the vinyl these days probably costs a lot because that's not really the big product these days. It's more just still CDs than anything. Like I'm a music artist myself, and I don't want to know how much it would cost me to get a printing of like 300 or 400 vinyls made of like a demo or an EP if we ever made one. So,
yeah, like
I don't know, like for 300 vinyl in bulk order, like that's got to be at least $1,600 or $1,700 to make like a bulk order of vinyls if you're an artist, right? Like
depends on how much you're, and then also how much you're gonna sell them for. You know, because chances are you may only end up making like a few bucks off each record.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, right? Yeah. Like any of these dudes that are selling their vinyls, like they're probably only making like $5 or $10 more than what they paid for it once they like, you know, divide it all up and see how much each unit cost individually. So, yeah.
Any more questions?
Fraser Dawson says, "What about 8-track?"
What the fuck? Like, really? I seen some at like, you know, flea markets and thrift shops, but no, I would never buy any.
That's funny.
Hey, what's the point?
What do I say to what about 8-track? What about 8-track? But yeah, someone says, Uncanny Taste says, "What are the origins of your channel names?"
Well, I guess I'll go first, since I bet a lot of people wonder about that.
It should be pretty self-explanatory.
I think I have explained it in at least one video. Okay, so I used to have another YouTube channel back in the day, and it was called Fat Dude 600, and it was created when I was a lot younger. Go ahead and laugh. I know it was ridiculous. I uploaded a lot of like old like Motley Crue concerts and upload a lot of demos and stuff. And then one day my email just exploded from copyright claims and my channel got fucking deleted. So my now ex-girlfriend, she created a new channel and she just called it Motley Crue Forever 1. Which yeah, Motley Crue is like my all-time favorite band. So that's not a joke. The channel name's not a joke, if any of you are wondering. And I never felt the need to change the name because, you know.
That would be pretty funny though. It's like, yeah, Motley Crue Forever 1 secretly hates glam metal.
You know what? Like, yeah, like it's like, no, I love glam metal.
Do you ever watch? I haven't answered my part yet, but do you ever watch Ranter in Shades? He's a huge glam metal fan as well.
A YouTuber?
Yeah, well, he's more of like he's more into rants and he's more into anti-elitism videos, and he's done a few word analysis stuff, basically to combat elitist insults towards people. But he's also like done what's my favorite top this or that, and some of them have been like glam metal or alternative rock metal or, you know, stuff like that. He doesn't consider himself like a metalhead though. But
okay, I'll have to check it out.
I think that's just to escape being ridiculed as a metalhead. So you can just be like, well, I'm not a metalhead, so you can't get me there.
I mean, I don't get offended when people say Motley Crue isn't metal. I don't really consider them metal. I mean, they have their metal moments, but they've always just, they even said it themselves numerous times back in the day, we're not metal, we're rock and roll, you know. So, or, you know, hard rock, whatever you have, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing people try to fight me on too. It's like, oh, you made a top 5 metal bands you can't stand and you put Kiss on there, they're not metal. It's like, well, they kind of are, man. Like, they might not be instrumentally metal, but look at them. They definitely try to come across as metal.
Yeah, they have their moments.
They spit out blood on stage. They, you know, they definitely throw up the metal persona. So it's like they had to be included on there. But I'm getting off topic. My origins for the Black Metal Rebellion is honestly just pretty simple. Like, once I hit black metal in my listening stages of music, that was it. Like, I'm like, this is home. This is I know this is gonna be like this isn't gonna be like a phase for me. Like, there's nothing beyond this that I'm gonna enjoy anymore. Like, I know that for the rest of my life now, black metal is gonna be my favorite music genre. So that was definitely going to be in there. Like, black metal was definitely going to be a thing. I have a video kind of discussing what is going to be my new channel name, because I was, you know, talking about it, and like one was like Black Metal Dad or Black Metal this or that, and I kind of explained why one wasn't going to work or one would work better. And then I eventually settled on Black Metal Rebellion because, one, my dad always used to call me a rebel when I was young. And he'd be like, no matter what it is, no matter what authority you go up against, you're always rebelling against it. You always have like a different opinion than everyone else. And it's, you always find a different way to look at things. So he just saw me as like the ultimate, I guess, rebel in his eyes. Like, I mean, that's his opinion. Like, my dad's a very kind of paint by the numbers kind of guy. If that's how society says it should be, then that's why I'm going to do it. If this is what the law says it's going to be, then I'm going to, you know, obey this law. Like, he's a very follow the rules type of dude, and that's how he bases his life. And you know, a society told him to get a job, cut your hair, get a car, have a wife and a couple of kids, get as a high-paying job as you can. Like, that's what he did. He just followed exactly what society told him to do, and he just saw me as just, I don't know, a rebel without a cause. He didn't understand why I would rebel against certain things or have different points of view. He didn't understand, like, there's just totally two different people. But besides that, it was also kind of my stance amongst the other metal related YouTubers too. I enjoy a lot of their content. I'm subbed to a lot of them. Like, I consider a lot of them, social friends and whatnot. Like they're my peers. They're really cool dudes. But I don't know. I find that I have a lot of, once again, just differing opinions, different thoughts about things.
Well, yeah.
And like when the whole black metal werewolf thing blew up, like, you know about that. Like, everyone.
Dude, that was such a actually, no joke. That's how I found your channel.
Oh, really?
Because of that video. Yeah, that's how I found your channel.
Well, and that was the thing too. Like, everyone was just so ready to take a giant greasy shit all over this kid, and I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. He made a silly comment about deathcore being unnecessary.
I thought it was hilarious how bad everybody got offended by it.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like I used an example in my video. I was like, so I'm like, if somebody made a video, like some big popular YouTuber made a video talking about how much they hated Motley Crue, I'd just be like, okay, this one person's opinion, why should it matter? And I had said before, honestly, I think the only reason why so many of these YouTubers got so mad was because this guy has a shit ton of subscribers, and I don't know if it was just like a jealousy issue, but I guess I feel like they knew he had so many people watching him that a lot of people were going to I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Perhaps pick up his point of view.
Yeah, I guess, and agree with him and what he says. But it's like, if people want to listen to deathcore or metalcore, they're gonna go listen to it themselves. Like, they're gonna go discover it themselves. They're not going to, not listen to it just because somebody tells them not to listen to it. Or at least people that have I don't know if the word I'm looking for is willpower, but
yeah, I mean, you can't just assume that the crowd is not going to be able to think for themselves.
Yeah, basically that's basically what I was getting at.
But yeah, and then just where I saw where people were coming from, I also didn't think that just because he said something that didn't either A, quite make too much sense, or that he didn't either A, put too much research into, I didn't feel he deserved to be crucified for it. Like,
oh yeah, no, he didn't. I mean, I think it's kind of personally, I'm not trying to talk shit about him at all. No. I mean, I don't really know why. I don't know if I should say this or not. I don't really know why he calls himself Black Metal Werewolf. When his content really isn't. Well, I mean, I guess I can't say anything about that because I don't show a shit ton of Motley Crue stuff in my videos. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Maybe I should just shut up.
No,
I just feel like he gets ripped on a lot because his name is Black Metal Werewolf, but he doesn't really have like a huge education of black metal. There. Okay. At least it doesn't seem like he does. It doesn't seem like he does. Like, your name is the BlackMetalRebellion. You show a shit ton of black metal. At least in my eyes, you know what you're talking about when you talk about black metal. So yeah, if you ask me anything about Motley Crue, I could fucking tell you the answer. I'm like a Motley Crue encyclopedia,
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna have that many subscribers and have a name like that, people are gonna fucking tear you a new asshole, you know, if, you know, your knowledge isn't up to par, you know.
Well, the thing is,
or if like
the thing is just that it's someone has gained that much notoriety. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know how many he has now. It's like probably around 30,000 subs. But someone who has like that much notoriety with the name Black Metal in their YouTuber thing, it's going to draw a little bit of attention from the people
exactly
who are in the Black Metal community, and they're going to be putting you under a microscope. Not that that's right or that's, you know, a nice thing to do, but that's what's going to happen because fucking the internet. So that's what happened. Someone with the name Black Metal in their title who has that many subscribers made a statement, and people just could not wait to jump on the hater raid train. And once again, I can sort of see where they're coming from. He made a statement against something they didn't enjoy. They had a rebuttal. You know, the rest is history. But then that's another thing too, where I get the rebellion part of my channel name is I came in and just said, you know what? He made a mistake. It was a silly mistake. He could have maybe worded it better and done some more research. But
I mean, if he doesn't like the music, you know, it's okay. But the only thing he said that kind of pissed me off was that he really didn't do his research about grindcore. Like he tried saying grindcore was like deathcore. I mean, that was the only thing that made me kind of facepalm. You know, like,
did he say
come
that?
on. Yes, he said that.
Oh.
He said he thought like grindcore was like another edgier name for deathcore or something like that. Like, I'm serious. He said something to that effect. That's just a paraphrase, and like, I'm not trying to, you know, throw slander out there, but he did say something like that, and that pissed so many people off. Like, I think that pissed more people off than just him saying he hates deathcore in general. You know, like, I think the whole thing with the grindcore, comparing it to deathcore, pissed people off more. I think that's what it was really about, too, mostly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and the fact that he said he didn't see the point of deathcore.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
There's, I don't know. Honestly, I think they're just nitpicking his specific wording. Like, I don't think he scripts his videos at all. I think he just says it off the cuff, from what I'm aware. And when you say things just kind of off the, you know, cuff, and you don't really have it written down and prepared, sometimes you word things in a way that later on you might go, oh, well, why did I use that word? That's not what I meant. And I think that might be what happened when he said, I don't see the point of deathcore, when there's already heavier genres like deathcore or like death metal and whatever. I think what he meant to say would be like, yeah, I'm having trouble like trying to figure out like what he would mean by that, because I think if he stopped and took a second to listen to his own question, what is the point of deathcore when you have death metal and stuff? And that's another thing too. Music doesn't need a point. It's simply someone writes what they want to write, and they don't. It's subjective. I think he just didn't really get the whole point of music is subjective, and whatever is going to happen based on certain people's preferences. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was the only one that didn't really crucify him for said opinions.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. I watched just about all those response videos, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, people, come on, you know, like, oh boy. But it's like it's just one guy's opinion, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of like Cover Killer Nation. He tore a strip off of 6 Feet Under, and I love 6 Feet Under. Did I cry about it on the internet and say like, oh,
exactly, yeah,
made fun of 6 Feet Under? Whatever. He doesn't like him. Cool. Do I still like his channel, and am I still subbed? Hell yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm not trying to like talk shit about anybody that made a response video, you know, because like people, you know, it was. Obviously, there was some emotions going on, you know, probably. which caused people to make those videos. But
well, and the fact that those videos were getting like tons of hits and people were getting subscribers based.
Yeah, like I think like I think you and Wyatt were like the first ones to throw that video out there, and then everybody else just kind of like jumped on the bandwagon. And you know,
yeah, there's like 2 or maybe 3 videos before I hopped in, because I didn't really make my opinion about it until I saw those videos where everyone's tearing him a new asshole. And I'm like, well, this isn't quite the full story. I gotta jump in there and say, hey, listen, who cares? He said something stupid, get over it.
It may not be stupid to him either, you know, that may just be truly how he feels, you know. And if that is how he feels, then it is what it is. You know, this is the opinion of one person. You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't force anybody to apologize if, you know, if they feel a certain way about it. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of compare that statement in that video to how people feel about some of my unpopular metal opinions videos.
Yeah.
Like, they've got a lot of views, but they've also got a lot of hate. Like, if you've ever visited the comment section of my unpopular metal opinions videos, oh, the salt is real.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like, and people just can't handle it. Like, they're like, they think that because I've said it, that means somehow they have to take it as the end all and be all. I'm like, no. Like, don't just. This is my opinion of it. Okay, this just because I said that I don't like suffocation or decapitated, because they could have said what they needed to say in one EP and that would be it. Like, just because I think that way or I feel that they kind of lack luster doesn't mean that just because you like that band that I'm shitting on you for liking that band. That's what I think everyone took away from my unpopular metal opinions videos. They're like, they took it personally. They took that shit straight to heart. They're like, oh, he doesn't like suffocation for this reason, or he doesn't like obituary because of this reason. They're the founders of fucking this and that thing in metal, and oh my god, you're an asshole for not liking it. Like, dude, I don't have to like it. And they're like, you better respect those bands because they made it possible for this and that to happen. I'm like, I don't have to respect anything that I don't enjoy. Like, if I don't enjoy what, you know, Autopsy's vocals sound like, or Obituary's whatever sound like, I don't have to say good things about them. You know, like, beyond that they're talented. Like, all these bands that I say that I don't enjoy and they're not my cup of tea, doesn't mean that I don't think that there's talent there, that they don't know how to play their instruments or whatever. I've never said that. I just simply say when I put them on and I play them, they do nothing for my ears.
Yep, it kind of reminds me of what I said in one of my recent videos. Like, a lot of people seem to think that when you say a band is overrated, you're automatically saying that they suck. Like, I don't like. Do people not know what the definition of overrated is? You know,
overrated just simply means that they've gotten a lot more.
Like they get more praise than they deserve. You know, it's like, it doesn't mean they suck. You know, it doesn't. I'm not trying to say they suck. I just think that they're overrated and they get a little bit too much praise. And there's other bands out there that are doing what they're doing. You know, or pretty much are in the vein of the same thing. You know, if not, you know, just the same, if not better, and they don't get the praise that they deserve. You know, so yeah, people, just because someone says a band is overrated doesn't mean they're saying they suck. Please. So next time you're scrolling the Blabbermouth comments and somebody says, "Oh, this band's overrated," don't tear them a new asshole and be like, "Oh, they don't suck. Fuck you." You know, I think the one comment I see the most is, "Oh, let's see your band." Like, I'm just like, oh, I swear to God, I wish I could just punch these morons in the face. Like, shut the fuck up.
Sometimes Jesus people Christ. Just need a good high five in the face.
Yeah, they do.
With a chair.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like, it's horrible reading those comments.
Yeah. Well,
I do it for entertainment though, because there's a lot of funny shit that gets said. You know. in the comments section, you know, whether it be on Facebook or, you know, YouTube. It's entertaining.
I think the thing that bothers me the most out of stuff like that is when it's like grown ass men saying things like that, like 40-year-old, 50-year-old metalheads that are responding like 12-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, what? Geez, Grandpa, why are you so butthurt? Why do you care so much about what a fucking 20-year-old dude with long hair says about your favorite band from 5 million years ago?
I know, yeah.
Like, calm down. You're gonna shit your depends.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So someone says, I got a question. Do you like power metal?
I like some, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of the high-pitched vocals. I mean, like I like new wave of British heavy metal, you know, because that's kind of where power metal grew from, like aside from like Rainbow or whatever. But
Rainbow is good.
Yeah, Rainbow's good, but that's where the kind of like the theme kind of started, you know, with power metal, you know, the whole Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the whole, they took the, you know, the soaring, you know, falsetto vocals from the new wave
vocals.
Yeah, from the, you know, from the new wave of British heavy metal, from metal and yeah. Like I like Halloween is pretty good. I like them.
What about Pantera's or power metal days?
Oh fuck yeah, I love that stuff.
Back when Dimebag Daryl was Diamond Daryl.
Yeah, I think that shit's way better than fucking Vulgar Display of Power or Cowboys from Hell. Shit. I think power metal is their best album in my opinion.
Cool. For me, power metal's just kind of I don't know. It never really sank with me. The only power metal band, and correct me if I'm wrong if this is even a power metal band, but was Falconer. Falconer was like the only power metal band that I enjoyed. And once again, even if that's even power metal.
I'm not familiar with them, so I couldn't give you an answer.
Yeah, but I pretty much got all their albums except for like the last two. So I really enjoyed that one single power metal band. But yeah, no, most of my favorite genres right now are just black metal and punk, and probably still some slam. I got a shit ton of slam CDs still that are just kind of collecting dust, but I play them every now and then in a giant mix on my Xbox when I'm feeling extra groovy.
Mm-hmm.
So man,
got any more questions?
It's almost 9:30 on my end.
Yeah. Well, it's your call when you want to end it.
Fair enough. I can't really think of anything else to really talk about. Someone just asked, do you enjoy any DSBM, so depressive black metal, depressive suicidal black metal?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Any specific bands?
Obviously Zaster. I don't know if Leviathan is considered DSBM. I think sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't.
I'd consider them DSBM.
Yeah, Abyssic Hate is really good. If you like DSBM and you've never heard Suicidal Emotions, you need to hear that album. Make a Change, Kill Yourself. That's one of my favorite black metal albums. Like as of just recently, like I was like, that album blew me away. That's a really fucking good album.
That's a beautiful album title too.
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, man, it's a great DSBM record. If you haven't heard it, you need to check it out. I'm still getting into Shining. I still haven't checked out the rest of their discography, but I'm wanting to at some point. But that's also another really good band. I know people. I said in one of my recent updates that I know people have mixed feelings about. I think, ironically, the guy's name is Nicholas, I think, and I know people have mixed feelings about. Yeah, that's the front man's name.
Yeah.
I know people have mixed feelings about Shining because of him and just how he is and the things that he does, you know. But I think they're a good band.
Yeah, if they can't handle an entertainer trying to be entertaining, then they've missed the point of being an artist completely.
Yep, exactly. I completely agree with you.
Like, would you want them all just to stand still, play their instrument, show no emotion, do their set, and get out of there? Like, how boring would that be?
Mm-hmm.
They might also just be Linkin Park.
Yeah, pretty much. Do the pogo jump.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like some depressive suicidal black metal. It depends on the day. Like, I actually really enjoy the first couple of Shining albums. I'm probably going to get some eventually. I definitely need to catch up on Zaster. I find his stuff is, at least his earlier stuff, is way more enjoyable than anything Leviathan has done. Now, not to say that I don't enjoy Leviathan, and I've got Tentacles of Horror and the Scar-Sided album, but yeah, Zaster seems to have some more groovier, catchier riffs from what I've heard, but then I haven't listened to everything that Leviathan has done either. So maybe it's just I need to listen to more Leviathan. There's another DSBM band that I can't quite think of right now that was pretty good.
I just thought of another one that I forgot to mention. That's really good.
What's that?
I don't know. I don't even know if they're considered DSBM. I have one of their records. I can pull it out.
Yeah, whip it out.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, here. I gotta find it.
In the meantime, someone says, "How old are you guys?"
I'm 40. No, I'm kidding. Where the fuck is it? I am trying to find it.
I will actually be 32 in September, believe it or not.
Aha, I found it. Here we go. This band, I Shall Become, really good band. They're from Illinois, I think. Really good stuff.
So some US DSBM.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if they're really considered DSBM. I don't have a problem calling them that, but they're a really good band. Definitely worth checking out if you're into that, or just check them out in general. So yeah.
Okay. Well, unless anyone has any questions that are super duper exciting to answer, I think the last thing I'm going to talk about, and you know, I am the Rebellion, so it's got to be controversial, is what are your thoughts on NSBM?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell them how old I was. Should I?
Only if you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be 25 at the end of the month, on the 26th to be exact.
Oh wow! So you're
yeah,
like 6 years or 7 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
I just got the fountain of youth.
He said you got the fountain of youth. You trying to say I look older than that?
No, that is not what I say.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Damn it.
All right. All right. So, thoughts on NSBM? I don't care. I don't care if they're NS or not. If they make good music, then that's all I care about.
Cool.
I love Goat Moon. Der Stürmer's okay. I'm not sure if Satanic War Master. I know Werewolf likes to deny the whole NS influence, but it's it's in his music, whether he wants to admit it or not.
That's probably because he just wants to make it over the border.
Mm-hmm.
Got a tour,
Honestly,
right?
well, you know, with the Goat Moon, they just recently played a show here in the States, in Chicago, I believe, and it was one of those things where you buy a ticket, bands are going to be on the bill, and they kept it super quiet. For as you know, they kept it super quiet, you know, to where no one could find out who was playing. And then slowly, as the date of the concert got closer, they started revealing bands, you know. So I think that was a really good way to go about doing it, because that gave bands like Goat Moon, and because Der Stürmer was also on the bill, so that gave them a really good opportunity to be able to play here. My friend was at the show, so he said it was a good show, so I believe it.
Yeah, I don't really care too much what the lyrical themes are of black metal or any band where the vocals are just super not intelligible, like where you can't hear what they're actually screaming or growling. I'm sure if I actually heard it, like the actual words, it would probably bother me a little bit, because I don't like hearing racist shit, and I'm very against that kind of thing. So if I hear them dropping the N-bomb or saying that, you know, black people need to die for whatever reason, I'd probably be like, okay, I couldn't hear it being talked about like that, so I probably wouldn't be able to listen to that band. But if I can't hear what they're saying, and I'm just going by like the instruments and just the vocals as another instrument at the time, because I can't hear what they're saying, then that's fine. Like if I can't actually have to sit and be subjected to that point of view or hear it, then the music won't bother me. So yeah, I like NSBM music, but the ideology is this can, you know, take a hike. Like you're not going to see me wearing a red armband anytime soon. Okay,
yeah, the music is what matters.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, shit, this Nocturnal Mortem, they're considered NSBM, kind of, or at least their early stuff. They showed a lot of that influence, but now they're trying to steer away from that. You know, like if they like I don't know when it was, but I know, you know, recently they had said that, you know, they want no part of that. They don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah, well, I think that's
same thing with Graveland, I think, too.
Like some black metal bands might start off early in their career as NS bands because they've got certain ideologies and they want to just express that through the music. But then as they grow and they mature and they kind of start experiencing the world a little bit more and start realizing, hey, we're going to get a fuck ton of slack for being this way if we actually want to like play certain places, then they kind of like go, oh, well, for the sake of the career as a musician, I should probably tone down my white power.
Well, I think it all goes back to being young and being rebellious, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's really rooted in, you know, to why a lot of bands do that.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's good to take pride in your heritage, but there's a line where you just like, okay, you can be proud of your heritage, but when you start trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you start telling other heritages and other races that like they're less than you or they need to stop going places or inhabiting places, then you're getting a little bit up your own ass. Like it's fine to have pride, but what you do with said pride is kind of the problem. So yeah, no to the ideology, yes to the instruments. So, but yeah, what else is in the thing before I have to go? Because the wife's really needing help with the kids here.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't have any more questions, we can just end it.
Someone said you didn't answer the question about the power metal, but I think we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
But yeah, like
they must have not have been watching because we spent about 10 minutes talking about power metal. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they need to after this after this is on YouTube, they need to go back and watch it because yeah, we talked about power metal.
Yeah. So Fraser, go back and watch that. Just to recap,
After it's been
Falconer. He likes Motley Crue and early Pantera. I guess.
Well, I mean, Motley Crue's not power metal, but yeah.
Or yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Halloween. Halloween was the other band I mentioned.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the last thing before I go, do you like Black Dahlia Murder?
They're okay.
Yeah, like I have their first 2 albums. I stopped listening to them after Miasma, and then I just kind of got out of my metalcore and deathcore phase. So it just didn't.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, are they considered in that genre, like metalcore or whatever?
I think they're
like I've heard some people call them melodic death metal, and so I listened to some of their stuff. I'm like, this is not melodic death metal.
It's got elements of melodic death metal.
Yeah.
Some elements of black metal, but it's mostly just kind of like metalcore to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it's metalcore, at least it's exciting. Like it's not like the
it's more.
It's not like this. It's not like this shit that's being called metalcore nowadays.
No, it's not like that.
So, yeah.
But and the last one before we go, favorite pizza toppings, which is an appropriate question, considering.
Yeah. Pepperoni.
I like different kinds of stuff. Meat lovers is good. I'm one of the assholes that like pineapple on their pizza, so there's that.
Yeah, man. A lot of people like that though. So.
Well, the only reason I like pineapple on my pizza is because when you get pizza, it's salty. There's a whole bunch of toppings that are very salty and kind of like favor that palate of your tongue. So to counteract all that saltiness, unless I have like a fucking 2-liter thing of Coke next to me or whatever, I'm gonna want something to combat it. So pineapple works pretty good. So you'll see me with a Hawaiian pizza quite often than not. And if not, a meat lovers is good with some like chipotle dipping sauce or something, or like ranch or garlic sauce. Gotta have your sauce with your pizza.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so I guess that's it.
Yep, that's it.
So one more question before you go, Viking metal. I guess Viking metal's okay. I mean, I like Amon Amarth, but really enough bands to
Viking metal
label.
Viking metal's not a subgenre in my opinion. It's more of like a theme.
Yeah. That's like
it's not a legit. Amon Amarth is melodic death metal. Please stop calling it Viking metal.
Yeah, well, that's like saying.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
That's like saying Ailstorm and Swashbuckle are pirate metal. Like, yes, they talk about.
I hate that shit. God, like just because you talk about it doesn't mean it's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's official. Me and Motley Crue Forever1 are putting a squash on lyrics determining different genres of metal. Sorry.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yes. Amon Amarth is melodic death metal. Spread the word.
Yeah. So
I'm sick of hearing people call them Viking metal. All right.
Are you going to raid some villages while listening to that music? I don't know. But so on that note, thanks everyone for joining us. Apologies to our dear friend Worship the Pizzagram for not being able to come on this live stream with us. Hopefully we'll be able to get sorted out for the next one, because now that I figured out how to get this thing to work and the audio is doing well, I'm definitely going to be doing another one. So we'll hopefully have him on that. Nick, muchas gracias for joining me. Much appreciated.
Yep. De nada.
De nada. Fun time.
Yep.
So until next time, stay sick and have a good one, my friends.